Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today to hear about PPI's Public Service Weekend program. Before we get started today, I always like to ground our meetings in our vision and mission. So our vision as PPIA is a thriving and equitable world uplifted by visionary, inclusive, and compassionate leaders. Our mission is to cultivate the next generations of diverse public service and international affairs professionals by investing in their education, essential skills, and networks to affect domestic and global change. So on the call today, we have myself, Michael Paniagua. I use he, him pronouns. I am PPI's Operation and Program Manager. I've been with PPI since September, and I work on general logistics, strategic planning, and I also coordinate the Public Service Weekend program. Also on the call, we have our Executive Director, Stephen Delgado, he, him pronouns. And also joining us are representatives for each one of our Public Service Weekend partner universities. We'll hear more from them later, but just to list off who we have here, we have Dr. Danae Williams from the University of Pittsburgh, Sebastian Reyes from George Washington University, Maria Coleman from Carnegie Mellon University, Christy Portlock from the University of California, Los Angeles, Prisco Kelvin from UT Austin, Jacqueline Napoleon from the University of Albany, and Jillian Sarita from University of California, Riverside. So to quickly go over our agenda, I'm going to first outline the Public Service Weekend program, what you can expect from it. Then I'll go over the application components. Afterwards, we'll hear a bit from each one of our Public Service Weekend representatives about what makes their programs unique. And then we'll close out with Q&A. So what is a Public Service Weekend? Public Service Weekends are 3 full days of conference-style programming that introduce participants to a wide variety of opportunities available in public service. These weekends are a combination of structured networking opportunities, professional development workshops, and notable speakers in public service. Each weekend is hosted by one of our university partners, and programming revolves around a specific policy theme, drawing on the university's specific faculty expertise and alumni networks. The main benefits of public service weekends are growing your leadership skills, expanding your network with PPI and university alumni, and these professional development workshops. You will also learn about career education opportunities available in public service directly from leading voices in the field. And finally, each public service weekend provides all meals and accommodation support. Now, who can apply? Current undergraduate students and recent postgrads studying at a US-based institution interested in public service may apply. Now, each public service weekend is unique for their university sites, and so our partners may limit their eligibility to region or university grade level. You can see what these limitations may be on each one of their application portals, which are linked out on our website, and I'll provide a QR code to visit at the end of the slideshow. The application is relatively straightforward. There are 3 main components: demographic information, your resume, and your transcript. And the real meat of this is your essay question, where we really get to know you. So some of the wording may be different across all our applications, but generally the question is, what about your background or experiences has inspired you to explore a career in public policy or international affairs? The point of this question is to get at points of your identity and points of your community experience that aren't necessarily touched on in points in your resume. The most frequent question that I get asked as program coordinator at PPIA is, how can I make my application stand out? And this really is the area to do that. Because here you have a space to tell a story about yourself, about your public service aspirations, and about what exactly makes you a best fit for this type of program. And now, with that very brief overview of the program, I really want to give space to our university partners to talk about what makes their specific programs unique, starting with University of Pittsburgh.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Danae Williams, and I'm the Director of Recruitment and Admissions at the University of Pittsburgh Graduate School of Public and International Affairs. We call ourselves GISPIA for short. And I want to invite you all to our Public Service Weekend in Pittsburgh. And some of the things that's exciting about us, our theme is developing leadership for equity and social justice. Although our deadline passed last week, we are giving extensions to very interested students, so don't hesitate to reach out even if you feel like it's past the deadline. And our event's going to introduce students to topics in public and international affairs through the lenses of equity, access, belonging, and provide students with an opportunity to introduce yourself, explore options, and network alongside like-minded peers. Some of the things that we have planned are panel discussions on things like water equity, gender inequality, nonprofit capacity building, and more, where our GISPIA faculty shine in their areas of expertise. We're going to be having career discussions with folks all over Western Pennsylvania about different things that are happening in our local community and also statewide. There are going to be skill building workshops on professional communication, as well as preparing for graduate school. There'll be site visits to various places in the city of Pittsburgh where we see a lot of public service work going, such as Hello Neighbor, where they welcome migrants to the city of Pittsburgh and help them get settled in. There'll be dinner with faculty, current students with minoritized backgrounds, and then there may be a sporting event, but you didn't hear that from me. So if you are interested, you can apply on our website. The QR code there links right to it, or I will post in the chat right after I'm done speaking the link to our website for you to learn more. And then the last thing that I want to mention is that we will be providing housing accommodations as well as meals for your time with us. So all you would have to worry about is getting to Pittsburgh. Everything else, once you get to Pittsburgh, you'll be at one of our on-campus housing facilities, and we're going to be excited to welcome you. So if you need anything, my name is Danae. You can email me directly, or you can contact gispia at pitt.edu. We have multiple folks checking the alias, so that's going to be the quickest response. But I'm excited to welcome folks to Pittsburgh. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janae. And next we have George Washington University.
Hello, everyone. I hope everybody is well. My name is Sebastian Reyes. I use he, him pronouns. Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing this space with me today. I am representing the George Washington University. I am the Assistant Director for Student Services and Special Initiatives for the Elliott School of International Affairs. Our public service weekend, Advancing Equity through Inclusive Leadership and Policymaking, will be taking place on June 27th through the 30th. So our application deadline is still open. We're still getting students. So one of the things or the multiple things that make our public service weekend unique, I like to break it down by bullet points. And like number one is our people. We have a very unique position in the nation's capital, so that allows us to have a very unique network with public policy makers, with international affairs practitioners, legal scholars. We are at the heart of what public policy could look like from the nation's capital. We are in very close proximity, not only physically, but academically, intellectually, and professionally from where policy happens. And so one of the things that you will be able to see on our public service weekend is the multivariate array of different professionals and students and legal scholars that you will have connections to. Another thing that makes us very unique is our unique correlation to our public service weekend. Without going into much detail on how the George Washington University works, but our public service weekend operates very closely with the law school. So for all of you who are perhaps not only interested in just public policy or public service in international affairs, we also have a connection to the law school, which allows you to explore what are the routes for your professional development, looking into public service, government contracts, constitutional law, et cetera, et cetera. So that makes us very unique, and the law school is a very big big proponent of this program for us, and so they are always happy to use this program as a catalyst for the recruitment. So that is also very important. One of the things with us is that we're still in the virtual environment where our deans are working right now on exploring how to bring the conference in person and still keeping the accommodations that we have, because what we want to provide is as much flexibility as possible. And so we don't want to provide constraints for our applicants. So the best way that we are still finding ourselves in how to provide this flexibility and these accommodations for our students without having them to, travel across the country to come join us is to do it virtually. That might change next year, but our flexibility is one of the things that I think we can still use and provide for all of you. We know that during the summer, some of you are not taking classes, but some of you are taking classes, some of you are working, some of you have internship, et cetera, et cetera. So this is hosting it virtually still an opportunity that we provide you for you to not having to, put your life on pause. And then our top of the line faculty, our unique affinity to the skill development, our public service weekend is developed or drafted in a way where you will be uniquely doing a policy pitch project while you are doing your course with us. So the skill development, you will probably learn a lot from our faculty members. We'll have an array of over 15 faculty members who will be helping you throughout the weekend. So yeah, we welcome you, we invite you to come, and we look forward to seeing your application.
Thank you so much for that. Moving right along, next we have the LBJ School.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Chris Kelvin. I'm the Director of Student Access and Civic Education here at the LBJ School at the University of Texas at Austin. Really excited about just welcoming you and encouraging you to apply for our program this year. We are going to be, can you go to the next slide for me, please? We're going to be from July 18th, you'll fly into Austin. We'll cover your entire flight. The 19th and 20th, we'll have programming. And then on the 21st, you'll have some morning programming, and then you'll depart from Austin on the 21st. Again, this is a fully funded opportunity. Even if you're flying in or from out of state, we'll pay for your flight. And then also if you're driving in, we do cover the reimbursements for you getting to Austin. Of course, like all the other wonderful programs here, you'll be able to network with our current students, our PPIA alumni, and also some of our university alumni who are in the area. Really trying to work on developing skills around leadership, civil discourse, also just having a better understanding of what the policies are that are affecting the American South and Southwest, and really understanding the unique benefits of coming to Austin. Not only would you get a chance to meet our entire admissions team, but you also get a chance to go to the, can you go to the next slide for me, please?
Oh, we just have these.
Okay. We get an opportunity to go to the LBJ Presidential Library. Also experience the space in Austin, being a robust city that it is, and also really just get a better understanding of the wonderful faculty and staff that are coming to teach that weekend. We have faculty coming from across the state, and then also faculty that will be coming from our campus to teach that weekend. I will drop our application link in the chat box. You can also scan it here. Same thing, you just need a resume, transcript, and then a short essay to help us understand who you are better. And we'll be giving out notifications by May 9th for you to fly out here on July 18th. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing your applications.
Thank you. Next, we have Carnegie Mellon.
Hi, thank you, Michael. Hi, my name is Marie Coleman, and I'm the Executive Director for the Heinz College, Carnegie Mellon in Washington, D.C. So I love coming after our neighbors at University of Pittsburgh and then our neighbors here in DC at GW. So our university, Carnegie Mellon, many of you may know, is based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But we, for the past 16 years, we've had a campus in Washington, D.C., and that is where we host our public service weekend. This is, I think, our 8th public service weekend. We've been a part of it for quite a number of years, sort of part of the university and Heinz College's commitment to the PPIA program and our desire to help build equity in public policy and international affairs. So we're so excited to be able to offer this weekend. Our target is a little unique, I think, for public policy schools. Our curriculum is really focused around building a set of skills for students in policy, but in addition, management, tech, and analytics. So we do have a little bit of that bent in our public service weekend. In addition, our sort of theme is called AI for All, what future leaders need to know to ensure equitable outcomes. Now, this is not a tech conference. This is definitely focused on students who are interested in public service, public policy and international affairs, as well as public interest tech. So some people who are techie, they might be very interested in policy. They might want to come and be part of this conference. But people who are interested in political science and government and international affairs, even designers and people who are writers are also welcome. You know, for sure, the problems that are out there that our nation and our world faces is definitely needs to be solved with interdisciplinary thinking. And so we need students from all different backgrounds to be part of developing these solutions. Anyway, AI is the new thing right now that everyone's talking about. And so we wanted to put together a conference that builds on a lot of the expertise that we have in our campus in Pittsburgh. So we have a number of faculty that are coming. One highlight of the weekend is we'll have a workshop on our Policy Innovation Lab where students will learn about solving problems solving very complicated public interest problems. And we have a faculty coming from Pittsburgh who will teach a workshop on that. We'll be putting together an experts panel looking at AI and equity in workforce development, something that I think a lot of folks are concerned about these days. And then we even have a policy hackathon to get students involved in kind of applying what they've learned and sort of bringing their own creativity to problems that they may see happening in their community or in their cities, et cetera. So it's a really fun, interactive conference. It will be held in Washington, D.C. So we have a campus near Union Station, near Capitol Hill. So it's sort of centrally located. We are looking for people and students who are in DC for the summer. So we do not pay for travel to Washington, DC. So we're hoping that many of the undergrads who are here in DC over the summer doing internships will want to take a few days to think a little bit more about how their experience can lead to future degrees and future careers in public policy, public interest tech, and public service. So anyway, we hope you will join us. All majors and interests are welcome. And we have a preference for rising juniors and seniors, but we're also open to others as well. So we hope that you will apply and we hope to see you there this summer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have UCLA.
Yes, hello. My name is Christy Portluck. I am Assistant Director of Recruitment and Admissions here at UCLA Luskin School of Public Policy. And I'm here to talk about our fourth annual Public Service Weekend. So our theme is the power of public service-oriented careers from the California context. What we like to say often is that one of the benefits of being in California, being in Los Angeles, is that because we have such a diverse population, and aside from the weather, is that we face pretty much every problem that every other city is facing, both nationally and internationally. So even though our research or our specific theme focus might be kind of more local, it definitely applies beyond the California borders. I will say that our goal is to expose or further expose students to successful policy reforms, policy analysis, and policy advocacy from the California context. And as a participant, or because we are a School of Public Affairs, you would also be exposed to the overlap between public policy and social welfare, as well as public policy and urban planning. For instance, we are planning to have a applied lab, and that would maybe be geographic information systems, maybe it would just be research while you're putting together your policy presentation. We hope to inspire our participants to consider careers in public service overall. So while we certainly would like your paths to cross UCLA and for you to come to Luskin, Our programming has been created to provide scientifically sound and engaging material that's also relatable and motivates you to essentially go to battle for your community. So I will say that I've been with UCLA for maybe going on 9 years now as a career employee, and my last 3 to 4 years have been with UCLA Luskin. And this is a very community-driven space. I see a lot of our students go into fields that are definitely community-oriented, whether that's government or local nonprofits or even some private industries. So I just feel like the program itself tends to embody that same energy and that same influence, which is very community-driven, community-forward, and learning skills that will help you to create tangible change where you want to see it most. This year, our programming is scheduled to include applied lab research, as I mentioned before, speakers from Luskin research centers such as the Institute of Transportation Studies, and as always, alumni, current students, and faculty members. We may very likely have representation from our Director of Global Public Affairs, which takes policy, again, beyond the borders of California, and provides students with a more global context or perspective on specific issues. Finally, students who complete the UCLA PSW or any PPIA JSI will automatically receive a free graduate application to any of our programs at UCLA Luskin. After being admitted to any of these programs, if you complete a PSW with UCLA Luskin, you receive a $5,000 fellowship. And if you complete any JSI with PPIA, you receive a $10,000 fellowship. I will finally say that May 1st is when our applications will open. June 30th is when they will close. July is when you will receive your decision. And then our actual programming is scheduled to run from August 30th to September 1st. So yeah, we hope to hear from you. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to reach out. That is my name and my email in the chat. And we certainly hope to host you this year. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, we have University of Albany.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jacqueline. I'm the Director of Graduate Recruitment and Admissions at the Rockefeller College of Public Affairs and Policy at the University at Albany. We are part of the SUNY system, the State University of New York, located in our great state capital. There's a lot of great things about a place like Albany because we're sort of a big little city. We are the second largest seat of state government in the nation, only after California. And so all of that sort of takes place minutes from where our PSW will be taking place. So our students have amazing access to the alumni that live and work in Albany, but we're also not far from New York City, which is obviously another great hub. And we have a lot of great connections and plan to have a number of opportunities for you all to learn from, particularly some of our very distinguished alumni. We'll also hear from our faculty. We have a nationally ranked public affairs program here at UAlbany. And so much exciting stuff happens in the state of New York. There's never a dull moment. And so we're really excited to, continue to put together a program that I think can really get you excited about a career in public service. We really want to talk to students about how they can become, change agents. How can you make a difference in the world? I know every time I talk to students, I say, how do you want to change the world? And it sounds like such a lofty goal, but it's not, because changing the world doesn't take a major endeavor. It can be something small. And I think that's such a great part of who we are at Albany, is that we are not a huge city, but we have this amazing combination of having access to local experiences, state, federal, and international. And so you will sort of learn pieces of each of those areas within the PSW. And so if you have never really thought about something in local government, or you really are interested in international affairs and want to learn more, we're going to cover everything. And I think you'll be able to speak with alumni from each one of those avenues, speak with faculty who have worked and done research in those areas, as well as current students who have interned and are going through the program. So it's a really exciting time, I think, particularly in New York. We really encourage our students to stay in touch with the folks they meet at our PSWs. Our alumni are always really happy to connect with students and stay connected with them through mentorships. But during the weekend yourself, you're going to hear a lot about careers. That's a big part of why we do what we do, because we want you to go into the world and be the next great change maker. And so we'll have a lot of great panels focusing on policy, on management, on things like decision making, on budgets. On diversity, equity, and inclusion. We plan to do a classroom simulation so students can actually tackle a real world problem, which is kind of exciting, that you can sort of get your hands dirty a little bit and come away having really solved an interesting real world problem. We'll cover certainly grad school options, and not just at UAlbany, as our colleagues at UCLA said. You know, we want students to consider UAlbany for a graduate program, but we also want you to know what types of things you should be thinking about as you endeavor in law school. We are really excited to welcome students from all levels, all regions of the country. So we are, you know, really hoping to get a wonderfully diverse group of students. You do have to get yourself to Albany, which isn't too hard. We actually have the most wonderfully small but accessible airport if you're flying, but we're also really accessible via driving. We will take care of all of your housing while you're here, because we, you know, certainly want to make this experience as reasonably priced for you as we can. We're not until late September, so our deadline is not until July, and you'll find out from us by August. And I will say there are fewer places that have better weather than upstate New York in September. So I'll give us a little plug for hopefully what will be a beautiful weekend. It really is a lovely place to be. We do prioritize students who've attended PSW for graduate scholarships should they apply to our programs, as well as offer them an application fee waiver. We really want students to come to PSW and come away having not only learned a lot of stuff, but hopefully have found some really exciting inspiration to take what you're already doing and you know, ratchet it up as you finish your undergraduate career, channel that into an amazing internship if you haven't done so already, and then jump into graduate school and go out there and really change the world. So we're really excited to welcome you. We are really looking forward to it. So I hope you all reach out with any questions, stay in touch with us. We're excited to get this going, and hopefully we'll see some of you in September.
Thank you so much for that. Next, we have UCR.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jolene Sedita. I'm the Student Affairs Coordinator for the UCR School of Public Policy. This will be our first public service weekend, so we're very excited. And the theme that we're going with is a geospatial analysis of California policy issues. So one of our research centers that we have within the School of Public Policy is our Center for Geospatial Sciences. So one of the faculty directors is my co-chair for this PSW. And so we're really looking forward to welcoming students on campus. As highlighted by some of my colleagues, you know, within the state of California, you know, issues that we have here aren't unique to Southern California or California as a whole, but, you know, within the Southern California population, we're a very diverse, it's a very diverse resident group. And so topics that we're going to be looking at are related to prison reform. For those that aren't familiar, you know, California is requiring that vehicles be fully electric. Is that even something that's feasible? Environmental racism is another topic that we'll be looking at. Housing affordability, you know, we all know housing is ridiculously expensive, especially in Southern California. So what does that look like? You know, minimum wage versus living wage. Council of Governments and their impact on local policy. There's a lot more workshops. We'll be bringing in guest speakers that have gone through PPIA programs. We'll be bringing in alumni and members of our partner agencies that we work with, as well as members of our advisory boards that are up and down the state of California. Then we'll also be doing professional development, career development workshops throughout the entirety of the program. Our program is in October, so our applications don't go online until May 1st, and they are due by July 15th. So we're that first weekend in October. So definitely be on the lookout. Notifications for students will be by mid-August if they've been selected. As with other programs, we are able to provide some travel accommodations, especially for those that aren't within the the local Southern California area. Given that we are already in classes, with us being on the quarter system, we do realize that not everyone, across the United States would be able to be applying for this, but we do hope that you can join us. We look forward to reading your application. And again, our program will be October 4th through the 6th. And we're excited to be part of the PSW group this year. We're really looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. And that concludes all of our representatives. So I just want to highlight some opportunities here. UCSD is having their PSW in November. Their applications are not open until July 1st. And the Schar School at George Mason University will have their PSW in February, and their applications will open in November. You can see our website, and we'll keep those live updates there. So finally, just opening the floor for any questions you might have for myself or any of our university representatives. I also have a QR code here to our university or to our PPIA website, where you can see all the application portals to everybody that you've heard from today.
If anybody has any questions, feel free to either raise your hand or put those in the chat, and we're happy to ask those to our representatives here with us today. We have a question here. Is the Texas program open to students from all states or just the South?
If you have a relationship to Texas, meaning that you have family here, you've left from here and went to college somewhere else, or you're from the state of Texas or the southern area. So really from California all the way through the South is what we look at. We're not restricted. We do take your information if you don't qualify for our program, we do send it over to the PPIA office. And so we are collecting that information. So we're open to a wide demographic of the country.
Thanks so much for that, Chris. Anyone else have any other questions? Happy to answer those. Okay. Well, one thing that I did want to bring up real quick before we end today is another opportunity that is quickly coming up for PPIA, and this is our Signature Public Service Expo. The annual expo provides PPIA program participants, the nation's top employers and leading graduate programs, the opportunity to forge relationships that result in professional and academic opportunity. This year, the Public Service Expo will be held on July 12th in Washington, D.C. Sorry, I got something in my throat. And so what are the benefits, right, for students and recent postgrads to attend? Attendees of the expo will receive unparalleled access to decision makers in the admissions process at the nation's top policy schools and employers in public service. And then exhibitors at the expo gain access to a highly competitive pool of students and recent graduates seeking schooling, careers, and opportunities in public service. You can go to our website, ppiaprogram.org, and click on Public Service Expo to see the opportunities for signing up as an exhibitor, sponsor, attendee, or any other questions that you might have related to the Public Service Expo. So with that being said, I see we have another question here in the chat. Is the admission by each campus? Will attending one affect the chance of applying to another? Currently, yes, the admissions are by each campus, but currently attending one or applying to one does not affect your chances for applying to another. And so let's see. And then the other question as part of this, I think they're asking how many students are going to be accepted to the different programs. I don't know if the different schools want to share that information in the chat for us, but it does look like there is some interest in knowing how many individuals will be at each of the programs. Let's see, Albany is expecting 30 to 40, Pitt's expecting 25 to 30, UCR is around 30. and then 44 to 52 at the University of Texas. So that information is being populated there in the chat. Any other questions for us today? I know it's a busy time of year with finals, and for some of you, graduation might be right around the corner. And so please know that we'll be sending this presentation out to everyone that RSVP'd, and please feel free to forward it to your colleagues or friends that you also feel might benefit from our programming over here at PPIA. Thanks, everyone. I hope you have a great one, and we look forward to seeing you later this summer. Bye.
Thank you.